Hey guys, Darin Crowder here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we're going back to my home state, the great state of Oklahoma. We're talking to Mr. Darin Crowder. Darin got a top 10 finish last year at the BFL Okie Division tournament on Lake Eufaula. That same tournament is coming up this coming weekend, so it's a May tournament. Not a lot of experience on Lake Eufaula in May. They've always had tournaments in March and April, so very excited to talk to Darin and get his input on fishing kind of a post-spawn early summer tournament on Lake Eufaula. So a lot of great content coming your way for you Oklahoma anglers. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is excited to announce we are doing a $2,500 giveaway. You will see the rotating banner right here. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is click the link at the top of the description right below this video. That will put you in. Again, it's for a $2,500 sweepstakes. We have a lot of great partners involved with this, including Flambeau Outdoors, Costa Del Mar, Cigar Line, Strike King, Lose, and Tackle Warehouse. So this is not a giveaway any avid angler wants to miss out on. Go ahead, hit that link and get in. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do that. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. That's Revital Outdoors. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. Remember, we are a worker-friendly brand. Our products are THC-free, made right here in America. So go check them out. You can purchase them directly off our website. That's www.revitaloutdoors.com. That being said, let's go ahead and bring Darin right into the studio from the great state of Oklahoma, a professional pilot, I might add. Darin, how you doing this evening, bud?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
it. Absolutely. Darin, I've been following you for a long time on Facebook. I believe you had a brother that was a teacher in Grove, correct?
He's still a teacher and a coach. Yeah, football coach and track coach. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of my football coaches back in the day. He was a very interesting character, but really great guy, Coach Crowder. Can't ever blame him. So yeah, man, I've been following your career for a long time. You're a hell of an angler, great angler in the state of Oklahoma. So tell us a little bit about Lake Eufaula and how were you able to put together that top 10 last year?
Well, last year things were a little bit different. They're going to be this year. I mean, with all the water we got coming in, and I should have checked, and I know the lake's up right now, and so it'll be a lot different, I think, than it was this time last year. But last year I just went in looking for post-spawn fish, and I was off the bank, mostly down in Porham and down in Brookings some. But and I even got I think I picked up some bites there in Longtown, in the back of Longtown. But that's typical areas on that lake, especially this time of year. Right. So those aren't secret holes or anything. But and I spent most of my time dragging a Carolina rig around looking for post-spawn fish. I mean, that was really the only way I could get a bite, and I just didn't get a big bite. To carry me up and put me in that top 5. So,
right. You had some solid weight last year, and I think you only missed out on the win by 4 pounds. So, you had solid fish, a 3.5 pound average. So that solid bite on that lake would have been 5 or 6 pounds. That's tough to do on Lake Eufaula. It really is.
No, I hear you. That's my co-angler, I believe, did pretty well last year too. I mean, it's I pulled up on a couple of spots that. He got the key bites, that I would have preferred to have in my live well. So,
oh yeah.
But and that happens, and I was happy for him, and yeah, I did. Probably should have spent more time moving around. I kind of got hung up in a couple of places last year, and I should have spent more time running and gunning a little bit more than I did.
Right.
And it that happens too. We get hung up. In some places looking, thinking we're going to get bit, knowing there's fish there, and not making the right choices at the right time. So, and that was, that's kind of what I feel like happened to me last year.
Okay. Now, that being said, last year was a pretty normal year. You caught them on a Carolina rig. Mm-hmm. Instantly, for all the listeners out there, we talk about fishing in Oklahoma. If you're in doubt, just throw a spinnerbait. A Carolina rig is also a bait that anywhere in the state of Oklahoma you can get bit on. It's just a great, notorious bait for the state of Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
But last year we had normal conditions. This year, Old Man Winter has hung around a little bit. Yep. I know in the last couple of weeks, the weather is just now starting to warm up in Oklahoma. A month ago, you guys still had snow on the ground. That being said, it's been windy a lot. There's been a lot of rain, storms passing through. The water's up. It's high. What do you anticipate for this year?
I think this year, especially with the water's still coming up, and like I said, I don't know how high it is at Eufaula right at the moment, but all the lakes in eastern Oklahoma are still coming up. But it's when the water gets up in the bushes at Eufaula, that's usually where you need to be, especially if there's a chance of a shad spawn.
Yeah.
And I think that the water temperature and everything right now is that could be a key player. Especially you get the bushes up on those rocks and stuff where the shad like to be, and when they're doing their thing. And I think flipping the bushes are going to be that's going to be a key thing. And I had a top 3 finish years ago when this very thing happened right here. So and that was how I ended up catching those fish, and actually would have won that tournament if I hadn't my big fish hadn't died on me.
Right. So
but yeah, I think that'll be key this week. And is being around the bushes and finding the shad. The shad spawn should be just getting good, I think. And, depending on how cold the water got with all this runoff and stuff, or, it may have actually warmed up some more. So I just haven't looked. And because I do know 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine did find a shad spawn down lake at Eufaula, and he had a good tournament in a different circuit. So fishing that shad spawn.
Right. And, looking at if you're an angler in Oklahoma, or if you're an angler that just likes to fish in Oklahoma or trying to get more experience, different lakes, any bridge you go across in Lake Eufaula, you look, oh, my God, it's chocolate milk everywhere. Yep. Whereas when you start getting to the southern end of the lake in Longtown area and down south, it's almost like you're a completely different body of water. It clears up a little bit. The topography is a little bit different. The structure that the fish are holding on, it's almost like it's a different lake. So definitely I'm with you. That southern end, there'll be 60 boats in Longtown. I mean,
oh yeah, and
that's
what I like. That's why I like pouring myself. I'm not scared of dirty water, but
yeah, absolutely.
But dirty, Eufaula can bring up, that's a whole different dirty sometimes. Whenever
way different dirty. So, well, Darin, a lot of great information for Lake Eufaula going into this year. What do you predict weight-wise? I know we got the higher water temperatures a little bit later in the season. You think someone's going to break that 20-pound mark this year?
Oh, Eufaula, it's always possible. I mean, it's, especially in the BFL and the number of boats they draw. You got guys, like, I don't know if Chris Jones is out on the road, fishing some of the other stuff, but if he shows up, he's always a threat for a 20-pound plus sack. Him and a lot of other local anglers we got here. They go down there and they do good. I would guess it'll be 18 plus, to win this tournament.
Right.
So, because the last 2 weeks I've been down there, that's what it took was over 18 to do it. It wasn't. I don't think anyone quite had 19 pounds, but it's always a possibility for a 20-pound sack.
Oh, absolutely. And there'll be several. I predict also there's several bags in that mid to upper teens. So you'll see a lot of bags 14, 15, 16 pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we had a ton of 12-pound sacks. So that was and that was where I was 2 weeks in a row, 12 pounds. So
right,
just couldn't find the big fish, and it's with what I was doing. I don't think that the big fish were there yet. So
right, still coming. So needed a little bit more warmer weather in that next moon phase is what everybody always says. It seems like every tournament I've ever fished in Oklahoma BFL wise, the guys get off the water and they're always saying we're 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away. So, one last question before we let you go, Darin. We talk about fishing high water, flipping, notorious technique on Lake Eufaula this time of year, even around the state of Oklahoma, is to flip the bushes, get up shallow, fish the docks if you can find them. There's not so many docks on Lake Eufaula, but there is a lot of bushes to flip, a lot of different bluff walls that anglers are going to be flipping down as well. What does a co-angler do in that situation? I mean, being behind a guy that's flipping can be absolutely brutal. So what does a co-angler do in that situation?
Yeah, you get behind a guy flipping, it's a tough day. But, if you're a co-angler that has patience, which you have to have when you're behind somebody like that, and in my mind, I would downsize and flip right in there behind them. Because I've had guys go behind me when I'm flipping those bushes, and, I flip in there 3, 4, 5 times and not get bit, and they throw something completely different or smaller in there, and boom, have one on and putting it in a live well.
Right.
So, and sometimes it's a good one. They just, for whatever reason, didn't want what I had. And I would just say for any co-angler, patience is key, and keep your head down and keep fishing, and, just downsize a little bit and go with it.
Right. In that situation, I've always had co-anglers tell me, and I've kind of lived by it too, being a co-angler myself, is if you're behind a guy that's throwing a wacky worm or throwing a spinnerbait in the bushes or flipping docks or skipping docks or something that you just know in your mind, you're just, as a co-angler, you're like, oh God, this is going to be, do everything you can to get one bite an hour. If you can get that one bite an hour, and you focus on that, that's catching your limit in a couple coals, and that's pretty golden when you're with those standards.
Absolutely. And anytime you can go behind a guy, flipping in this state and catch a limit, period, you've had a good day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's just tough to do.
It can be very, very hard to do. That's for sure. Especially if you draw a guy like Sean Gordon or Sean Goodwin.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Christie. If Christie's not on the road, he'll be there. He likes Lake Eufaula
because they don't leave you anything.
It's you're gonna get bites, but you're gonna have to work for them behind guys like that. One thing I learned a long time ago is guys like that do really, really well and make a name for themselves. They don't miss.
That's right.
So
they're there for a reason.
Absolutely. So, well, Darin, a lot of great information. Great talking to you again, buddy. I know you took a step back from the BFLs this year with conflicts with work and all that. But definitely, I know you're still fishing around the state of Oklahoma. What other team, are you fishing some team tail stuff around Oklahoma or?
No, basically the ABAs, the Open Series and the Solo 150 series fit in with my schedule this year. And then with the BFLs, there was just too many conflicts for me this year. And so hopefully I'll be back at it next year and be able to do it all. So if not,
one thing I've wondered about you following you is if you can't fish the full schedule and make that championship, you're just really not interested. And I'm the same way,
Yeah.
What's the point? So,
I had a conflict earlier in the season already with my BFL schedule and with other schedules. And once you miss one, as a boater anyway, you're done. So,
you can't make Angler of the Year, and it's going to be really hard to come back and make that championship.
That's right, unless you go out and win one. So.
Yeah. So, and a lot of tournament organizations like ABA, and I know like Fishers and Men, you have to fish them all if you want to go to the championship. So
that's right.
That's just the way it kind of goes. So, well, Darin, I know you got a great support system. A lot of people that support you, a great family as well for yourself. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh man. Yeah, my kids especially, they Jared, Jace, Jesslyn, they support me 100%, and they're always following me and asking how I'm doing and stuff. And I got someone special at home now who's been very interested in everything I'm doing here, and she keeps track and helps me out, and has been traveling with me some. So that support has been huge. It's hard to do what we do, if very much anyway, and without help like that. So, special shout out to Bill's Marine and Sky Took. Those guys take care of me, and without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. And Phoenix Boats, Mercury Marine, all those guys. So, and
absolutely.
So, without that, it would be impossible. So, that.
I got you. And we did mention before the broadcast, you are a professional pilot. You fly for Southwest, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
I try anyway, whenever they let me come to work.
Yeah, that's probably a tough schedule to work around, but hey, it's very important. And now with COVID kind of, relaxing everything, I'm sure you've been very, very busy. So, it's hard work, but I know that you're very dedicated to it, and you're always traveling to great places. So if only they would let you bring a fishing rod.
That's right. Well, I got to fly to fish, that's
exactly. So, well, Darin, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. So we wish you the best of luck and everything you're fishing this year. We want to say a big shout out and good luck to all the anglers fishing the BFL Okie division this year and all the BFL tournaments of 2022. Make sure before you let everybody go that you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Also, you've been seeing the rotating banner there below the video. Make sure you hit that link at the top of the description. enter into that sweepstakes giveaway. Again, that lucky angler will be selected at the end of the year. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, I'm Theron Asbury. You've been talking to Mr. Darin Crowder, a top 10 angler from last year's BFL Okie Division tournament on Lake Eufaula. Again, that same tournament's coming up this weekend. So we hope you've enjoyed the content. Be safe out there. God bless. We'll talk to everyone very, very soon.
I appreciate you, Theron.